If this shit works, we just have to switch seats.
Yes, sir. Grab your cup.
I think we're live. No? Maybe? If this shit works, we just have to switch seats.
Yes, sir. Grab your cup.
I don't know what's going on there. I think we're live. Oh, there's a delay.
No, it's a major delay.
Maybe? That's massive. This shit works. Delay. Holy.
Grab your cup.
I don't know what's going on there.
That's live.
So this is. So we can watch this. Then it's just gonna be over there.
That's live.
But this is all live right now.
Yeah.
So we can watch
Because that, you know,
this.
it's great because documentation beats conversation. At the end of the day, people always look at us like, oh man, you guys are like polished up, these guys are so professional, you guys are really, you know, like there's the next level. Yeah. There was a day one for us too. It's not, you know, it's great because documentation beats conversation. People always look at us like, oh man, you guys are like polished up, these guys are so professional, you guys are really, you know, like there's the next level. Yeah, man. There was a day one for us too. It's not, you know, it's great because documentation beats conversation. People always look at us like, oh man, you guys are like polished up, these guys are so professional, you guys are really, you know, like there's the next level. Yeah, man. There was a day one for us too. It's not, you know, day one is great because documentation beats conversation. People always look at us like, oh man, you guys are like polished up, these guys are so professional, you guys are really, you know, like there's the next level. Yeah, man. There was a day one for us too. It's not, you know,
Yeah, how about we turn some microphones on because I don't even know if they heard us.
I don't know either,
But that's okay.
we are live here, guys, in our Lakeland studio. We're excited to finally go live.
Yeah, how about we hopefully, if you haven't like run away or you're just dying of laughter at this moment, but that's okay because, you know, at the end of the day, we're trying to fix it. So here's the thing, you know, everybody thinks, like you just said a minute ago, everybody always thinks that, oh man, the guys, they're always polished up. They know what they're doing. They're experts, right? You know, Surf is the radio expert, blah, 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 and Armando's the expert in everybody. But you know what? I said a minute ago. Everybody always thinks that. Oh man, it doesn't always A, look that pretty, and B, you gotta understand that even us here today in our Lakeland studio, one, this already looks different than the first video we did the other day. Look that pretty, and B, you gotta understand that thank you very much. Here today in our, we talked about we were going to get a new camera. The camera showed up this morning, and here we are. The next thing we have to do is figure out some streaming software so that this becomes a lot easier for us. So when you start anything, any undertaking in your life, be it becoming an insurance agent, a real estate agent, an architect, a lawyer, a doctor. Listen, a doctor had to figure out how to one day go start anything, any undertaking. I need to cut into a human. How do I do that? Real estate agent, an architect, a lawyer, a doctor. You're cutting into a human. That's why I don't want to leave my body to science, and also I don't want anybody talking about me when I'm dead. Oh man, mira, pobrecito. You know, I don't want to. So everybody's got a day one, and when you get into any industry, let's talk about our industry, right? Our business. Oh man, get into the insurance world. I don't want to. So be it life insurance, be it health insurance, you know, there's class that you have to attend. There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of learning. And once you've learned and once you've gone past that, you go and take a test and you get a license. Well, just because you have a license does not mean that you are now next class that you have
Absolutely,
to
that's-
attend.
and-
There's a lot of reading, there's a lot of.
But what it does,
And
when you
once
get a
you've
license,
learned
when
and
you get
once you've
certified,
gone past that,
it's
you
not
go
that you're an
take a
expert.
test
What it
and you
does
get a
to the
license.
world is that you're willing to
have a license.
be
Does not mean that you are now next class.
Right, because there's so many people that, think about it, and they think about it, they're stuck on thinking about it. Like, they're not doing it certified.
Right.
One of the things I'm really excited about right now, we have teammates at all levels. We have teammates that just signed up today, have no idea what our next step is. They're
By the way, congratulations to those of you that signed up today.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout him out because he was here in the studio a little while ago. Shout out to Key, one of our newest members.
We are the fastest growing MGA right now, and this is really
Congratulations to
exciting
those of you that signed up today.
Perfect.
I'm going to shout him out because he was here in the studio a little while ago. Shout out to Key, one of our newest members.
So many intricacies in life insurance and things, but Medicare in particular, which I think we really focusing a lot on right now.
Let's be honest, like we talked about in our last podcast, we have 10 to 12,000 human beings turning 65 years old every single day. And I guarantee you from that 10 to 12,000, I guarantee you 90% of them, if not more, have no idea what to do. Right? So you get this new person that's come into the business, they've eaten the frog, they've gone through the steps, they've become licensed, but once you become licensed, well, there's a whole bunch of other stuff you have to do if you want to sell, let's say, Medicare. And by the way, be in the 1% of all agents licensed. Medicare, only 1% of all health insurance licensees Medicare have what it takes and have the certification to sell Medicare. So when you be licensed Medicare certified AHIP, only 1%, that puts you in a completely different category.
You're in a rare air. What it takes, again, it comes down to what happened to us today, right? We're trying to go live for the past like 3 hours and 59 minutes.
We've really been trying to get this really different.
And there's frustrating parts in life. There's kind of things that you're like, you don't anticipate it. Murphy
showed up and went,
hey boys, all on top of us. I'm not sure what you did to Murphy, but he don't like us.
I thought Murphy was a girl.
Possibly.
I might have offended her, grandmother or something. But here's where it goes. When you think about what we had to do today to get this podcast up and running, get you here. You are here now with us in our Lakeland office, in our Lakeland studio. That is amazing. I love it. And it's going to look completely different in the next couple of episodes as you see it, because there's lighting coming in. We've got, banners. We've got all kinds of stuff, things that are going to be like right here on this Powerhouse bikinis. And it's going to look completely different in the next couple of. I don't think anybody wants to see me in a bikini. Maybe we'll put a wig on you. Maybe. You know what? The latest and greatest trend. We'll put on a mullet. We'll give you a mullet. I think anybody wants to see. You can rock a mullet. See, and this is part of it. The man has not turned off his phone.
You know what? I tried to. But look at this. I'm going to put him on speakerphone because I called him before this podcast. This is top. Hey, top. See, and this is live right now.
Hey, Top, you got to be careful, man. We are live on air right now, so don't say any crazy things.
We're live on air right now, and we got Top coming in, one of our biggest network marketing friends and one of our top dogs. He was the first starting.
You got to be careful, man. We are live on air right now, so don't say any crazy things. Artillery, you know what they do in artillery?
What are they doing, artillery?
They go,
network marketing.
and then they can't hear anything for the rest of their life.
They're going to have to be like,
We are live on air right now, so don't say any crazy things. You know what they do in artillery? That's what I did. I was the vulgar brawl.
hey, Tom, you are live on air right now with us here at the studio.
Yeah.
Broadcasting out of the Lakeland studio, brand new studio.
Brand new, beautiful.
State of the art. We are on air. Just wanted to touch base to see how you were feeling, how's everything going. Hey, Tom, you were before the broadcast, but I know that air right now with us here at the studio. Broadcasting out of the Lakeland studio.
Brand new, beautiful.
We are on air.
That's the doctor. Uh-oh.
Say hi to Sue for us, and we'll touch base with you later this afternoon, okay?
So again, right, this is all a learning process, right? Even for us here. I've worked for some of the biggest names in the broadcasting industry. I'm not going to to mention any names because
right,
no,
this
let's
is
be honest,
all
I won't.
pay us.
They're not paying me to say that. So when they give us money to say their name, I will gladly say their name. But until then,
Checks out to the Powerhouse Health Partners.
I'm not going to mention any names because they're not paying me to say but you know, again, there's always a day one, and there's always a day one, not just for radio and broadcasting and going online and you know bringing you this great podcast. But there's also day one for I just turned 65, or I'm 3 months from turning 65. Right, because that's important broadcasting and going online, and, you know, bringing you this great podcast. But there's also day one for I just turned
system in the United States of America. I'm not going to get paid enough for crap being taught
right, because that's
in our school system.
broadcasting.
There's been stuff being taught all over for centuries, right? In our I guess
But there's also day
for a
one
very long time in our public school system, in our private school system, but they don't teach us certain things. And I'm going to start raising the flag. I want to champion this. Like people need to start learning about financial stuff when they're in very long time. That would be a great thing, you know. Private school system, home ec, right?
Well, home ec doesn't exist anymore. I remember when we were in school, right? Because I graduated 1 year in front of him. But I remember when I was in middle school, they taught us how to balance it. It doesn't exist anymore. I remember when you were, you know, right? Because I may have 1 year. I was in class that day. I was not in the trunk of the Hyundai. We're not going to tell that story. When I was maybe one day we'll talk about that and how things happen. Anyway, but I remember, you know, this is how you balance a checkbook. Okay, cool. That's as far as it ever went. Entrepreneurship isn't taught. How to make money isn't taught. What kids are taught nowadays in school is, you know, how to clock in. This is how to clock out and, you know, work for 40, 50, 60 years. And at the end of it, you get a bologna sandwich, you know,
and something that you have to 40 hours a week, right?
And
to retire with 40% of what you
so it does not work. Right? It does not work. And so we so much emphasis and so much importance in the 4-year college system, but these kids are coming out and none of them, you know, something I heard it last week and it really dawned on me this. So much when we were kids, so much, right? Oh, what do you want to be, little Johnny? I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a police officer, a fireman. Okay.
Now they don't even know what gender dawned on me.
Well, now then, let's not go there. Let's not go there, right? Somebody's going to call HR. You don't want to. But anyway, a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. What do you want to be, Johnny? Is I want to be an influencer. I want to be on YouTube. I want to be a content creator. I want to, you know, I want to be these different things, which at the end of it does not sound like the 40-40-40 scam. I want to be. They're now wanting to step out on their own. They want to go out there and make their own money, you know, based on their own efforts, not based upon what somebody wants to pay them for their time. Because at the end of the day, when you go to work, you're trading your time.
You're renting your time.
And guess what? Somebody is giving you what they think your time is worth. Think about this. A lawyer today won't talk to you unless you're paying them $300 minimum an hour. And guess what? A lot more than that, right? But that's the thing. So think about it. That's why they are so expensive and they are so successful, because they have put value on their time, as opposed to, oh, you're only worth $17 an hour, $15 an hour. That's why they are so expensive and they are so successful, because they have put value on their time, as opposed to, oh, you're only worth $17 an hour, $15 an hour.
We're going to do a
They are so expensive.
we will. So stand by.
It's coming. When we get all this technical stuff,
Figure it out. But at the 50,000 foot view, right?
that's pretty high.
We're going to do a
There we go. That's already better. You can see, you know, at least the street.
So, you know, you're
When we get all this technical
you don't know if you're
stuff,
eligible, you're eligible. But
and what your rights are.
and what your rights are.
Yeah, that's pretty
You're
high.
entitled. What you're entitled.
Well, you're entitled.
There's an entitlement
That- that-
world right now, generation. They haven't done the crap. So
They've done nothing.
You're 64, turning 65. If you've worked at least 10 years in this country, right?
And what your rights
On average, you're making about credits for you.
What you're entitled. Yeah. So you got to understand, these are credits that are designated by the IRS, right? They're designated by the IRS, and what you are entitled to or you earn for. So you got to understand, these are credits that are designated up to 4 points per year, and you have to work a minimum of 10 years. The IRS qualify for all 40 points, so that then you can qualify for Medicare. Up to correct. A real entitlement. A minimum of their years.
What do you do next? The first thing that you celebrate. So that once you drink your tequila shot and you congratulate everybody.
What's in the cup, man.
Yeah. So once we, the first thing that we're going to tell you to do is contact the Medicare, right? Somebody in our office can help you. You're going to see a link here. And once you go to our information,
It'll be down there.
Yep, you can contact our office and we'll set up a meeting, in-house meeting with you or a virtual meeting. And then we'll go through the process of helping you first apply for Medicare. Then once you'll be there, you can go to SSA.gov, you can contact our office, we'll set up a Medicare. And then once everything is said and done, and they go to your rent, and then we'll go through one of our experts will sit down and apply for Medicare. Then once you'll be there, very different. And then once everything is said and done, you're first your rent carrier. Some we see carrier and apply for Medicare. We represent pretty much every business sector. And then once everything is said and done, you're first your rent carrier about a month and a half.
Let's talk about that for a moment, because we are talking about, day one, right? On that day one, now I know the story. We've talked about the story. We've shared the story with folks when they come and talk to us in person. But let's share that story, because day one, on that side, I'm going to go get my help. I know the story. I'm going to go and help folks with their Medicare. And you said, okay, I'm going to do this because what is my first step on day one? So what was your first step? Let's talk about that trip that you took for your 1 day of 13 hours. Okay, right? Let's talk about that.
So,
what is my first step on day
decision what you want.
So what was your first step? Let's talk about that trip that you took for your 1 day of 13 hours. Right? Let's talk about that.
That's one of the things that excites me.
What is my first step on day
gentleman that Medicare, Orlando.
Let's talk
Great
about
guy.
that trip that you
Showed me
took
the
for your
business.
1 day.
I got excited because what I realized was I can really go out there and make a big impact day to day. At that moment, I didn't explain it, but a great guy in mind. I wish somebody else takes care of it. I got excited because what I realized was I can go out there and make a big impact day to day. That was at that moment I didn't explain it, but a great guy. And then once I realized, okay, somebody else can go out there. I got excited because it was my house. What I realized was I can go out there and make a big impact day to day. That was because at that moment I didn't do it, but a great guy. And then once I realized, okay, somebody else can go out there. I got excited because it was my house. That was everything about here. Go out there and make a big impact day to day. That was because at that moment I some patients don't have ailments at all. And then once I realized, okay, somebody else can go out there. I got excited because it was my house. That was everything about here. Go out there and make a big impact day to day. That was because at that moment I
It is. Because think about it. That could be your light bill. It could be your phone bill. It could be your light and your water bill. Right? So they're saving, that money's coming back to them where they can put it to use for something else. Because think about it, right? So that's important. But unless you have the expertise and the knowledge to help somebody, so that they're saving, then you're just back doing a disservice to that senior, right? That 65. That's important. So unless you have the expertise and the knowledge to help somebody,
and you understand that
they're
the government
saving,
will
then
pay us
you're
pretty
just
handsome
back doing a disservice to
then what is your next step? I mean, that's typically the license.
That 65.
That's the so interesting part. I looked at it and see the time that I did it was fine. And you understand that it's updates in the jurisdiction that we're participating in. I'm in Florida. So I got my Florida license. But here's in every state, you're talking about 4 to 7 chapters, right? There's no more than that.
Currently, at the time of this recording, it is 7 chapters. Why do I know it's 7 chapters? I'm going through it right now.
in every state, I looked at it, the 7 chapters, so the next morning, I got
Currently, at the time of this recording, it is 7 chapters. Why do I know it's 7 chapters? I'm going through it right
hit the book,
now.
and I did the class, I read the chapter, watched the videos, did the exam at the end, and just did it, boom, 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 started at 7 o'clock in the morning. By now, it's recommending, I was
going through it right.
hit the book. There are people that take a couple days, there's people that take a couple weeks. I believe that the video, the states, and class, they give you 60 days. Right now, doing 6 days, you have to renew. Some people have to renew for another. There are people that take a couple days. You can do it in a day. You can do it in days. If you leave it in your mind, just depending on how bad you want it.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, it's like eating a frog, right? There are people that take 80 days. You can do it.
So,
in a day.
disclaimer to the generation that eats Tide Pods. Not go out there and eat a frog. We are not endorsing that in any way, shape, or form.
You gotta go
To the generation that eats
once you get the class done, right? And you go and you see
out there and eat a frog. We are not endorsing that in any way, shape, or form.
There's some states you gotta go to the exam with their piercing whatever the generation that the provider and vendor is for your state. You go and you take a state exam. Once you take a state exam, it tells that you're pretty much the state's government that you're certifying that you're not gonna whatever the
Harm the public.
harm the public, right? And you pass the test, then they're gonna give you. Once you take a state exam, it tells that you're pretty much the state's government that you're certifying that you're not gonna whatever the
Harm the public.
harm the Obamacare side of the house. And you pass the test, then they're gonna give you the Medicare side of the house. And it's gonna be your initial certification of doctor that you're certifying that you're not gonna whatever the
Harm the public.
harm the Obamacare side of the house. And you pass the test, then they're gonna give you the Medicare side of the house. And it's gonna be your initial certification of doctor that you're certifying that you're not gonna whatever the
Harm the public.
Obamacare side of the house. And you pass the test, then they're gonna give you the Powerhouse Boys. And it's gonna be your initial certification of doctor that you're certifying that you're that would be the first step. Then the system will take you step by step. If you're not licensed, it'll take you to your exam effects and the discount code. So that's
Currently, it is $186.93. With our discount, it goes down to $44. With our discount, it goes down to
and then it's certified with every carrier you want. Crazy things is I wasn't told that they goes down to they started sending me links and I got certified with everybody.
What is it, 39, 38, 36?
Yeah, at the time, crazy. I got certified with everybody. I wasn't told today I'm still certified with them. They started sending some links to you, got certified with everybody because they
What is it, 39, right, 38, 36?
We do have preferred carriers that we do just because I've been in the today we're getting so many times that started just links from certified with them. They're really good.
What is it, 39, right, 39, 36? Nope.
But it's a brand new carrier that's coming on board. Carriers they're going to be because I've been in the today currently service so many times. That just a link from certified. They're really good. But what we do is we certify our agents, and then there's a mentorship program, and that currently makes a big difference. Number one, we're going to have soft, really good. Back in the day, when I started, I had to walk around. We certify our agents, and there's a every single medication, and that really makes a big difference. Number one, we're going to have soft, to have back in the day, I had to walk around. Certify our agents, and there's some
rocking to. I'll be honest, every time you tell that story, I get a headache of thinking about you have to carry around all this stuff, and then this is why a lot of, let's be honest, insurance agents agents have always had a bad rap because they're like, hi, well, I've got a blah, 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 and they're big and they're putting out all these little pamphlets and oh, this one and read this and then read that and it's a mess. But then now, you know, thankfully we've got a great system that helps not only the agent but also help the client. This one and read this and then read that.
You know, like,
Yeah,
we're gonna sit down with you. That's one of the things that we train.
but then now, you know,
We tell
thankfully we've
our
got a
agents
great
to
system
be
that
100% clear with
not
our
only the
patients.
agent,
It's
but
gonna take about half an hour to an hour
client.
each consultation. If you have no medication, like you're really healthy, it'll take 15 or 30 minutes, right?
Right.
But if you got medications, you got specialists and stuff like that, we're gonna go 100% clear into our software and we're gonna add medication by medication by medication by medication. I'm talking about down to the granule level. But if you got medication, what medication specialist, what milligrams, we're gonna go how many times a day, you know, how many times take that, what kind of 30-day supplies, 60-day supplies, medication. We're gonna go into detail down to the granule. What is your preferences? What are your needs? Then we're gonna go into milligrams. We're gonna go how many times a day, that how many times plans line up with the 30-day supplies. Make sure that not putting you in some. What is your preferences? What are your needs? Then we're gonna go into milligrams. We're gonna go how many times a day. It's in your best interest plan, but line up visually 30-day supplies. Make sure that not to stop. What is your preferences? What are your needs? Then we're gonna go into milligrams. We're gonna go how many times a day. We're in your best interest plan, but line up together a plan to do supplies. And they go here. To stop. What is your preferences? What are your needs? Then we're gonna go into milligrams. We're gonna go how many times a day. We're in your best interest plan, but line up together a plan to do supplies. And they go here. On the agent side, we have to stop. What is your preferences? And our job is very bad. Any time that you're stuck on all the stuff that you deal with, we're there on either side. We have to stop. And that really separates very bad well from other agencies. Every one of our stuff, they got a team that will be there and either side. That really separates very bad well from other agencies. Every one of our but anyways, bottom line, we're going to go ahead and make an analysis. And then once we put them in the system, we're going to connect them but anyways, bottom line, we're going to go ahead and those are making an analysis in the clinics that their job and they're set them in the system. Their job is to get seen by their job is to make sure that their job is not only the system of the
you know, that's something that drives me completely bananas. Why? Because if you're just in this for the money, yes, there's good money to be made here. You can make a good living and all that wonderful stuff. That's something that drives this for the money. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, and it may turn somebody off. Yes, you're a piece of garbage to be made, right? Because you need to be here to help the people, and by helping the people, you're going to reap a reward because you're doing good for that person. But you got to be good for them, not good for your pocket. The pocket will be taken care of.
Pocket will be taken care of.
And so, as long as you're taking care of that person, because I'll be very honest, we never knew who my mother's agents were. I never knew them, and maybe my mom was not on the right plan. She was. I don't know. But awesome. I'll be very honest. At the end of her story, right? I never knew him, and maybe my mom, as I've learned and as I've been reading for my life, I don't know. It's awesome. I'm here thinking she ran out of insurance and the hospitals and the nursing home she was in. Learned and as I've been pretty much for my life, and that's something that I still can't get out of my head because she survived what happened to her and the nursing the first time she was in. So that means that if it would have been taken care of correctly the second time, that I still maybe she would have made it through. I'm not saying she would have. You know what? Everybody's got a time when it's time for them to go. You know, God says it's time to go. go. It's time to go, period. And I'm not angry with that. What I am saying is that as I've read and as I've learned, taking my, everybody's got a time when it's time for them to go. You know, God says it's time to go. It's the hospital indemnity has a value and has an day is, right? There is the advantage side. There is so many other things that come with it. And then my mom was in a rehab center, which was supposed to help her come back. And she went from an amazing hospital, so many 5-star hospital, to a rehab center that looked like it was something out of the 1960s. You know, oh my God. And almost, I walked in and they had a whole bunch of seniors in a room, in a circle, something just with little, you know, so they can see each other. They're not engaging in anything. And then it smelled like this, and they had, to be honest, it was seniors. And then you get back to where she was. So you had to go through all of this, like a, you know, so they can see nursing, assisted living hospice type area. Before back to where, you know, a respite area, before you got to where she was, which was just a rehab to get you back and up and running. Assisted, you know, my mom went through some stuff. She went through a 9-hour heart surgery that she survived. You know, a respite miraculous. Right? She survived that. Then rehab to get you being in bed for almost 60 days in a coma at the hospital surgery that were feeding her propofol like it was water. Now, propofol is what killed Michael Jackson. Then, right? Let's take it there. So my mother's metabolism was very low. On top of that, propofol is a medication that when it goes into your body attaches to the fat cells. So when it attaches, now it's got to metabolize through your system. Generally, when somebody is on that medication, they take it off. They're out of it in a couple of hours. Now, my mom, it took almost 60 days to come out.
And full disclosure, guys,
So when it attaches, we are not
use any medications.
Generally, when somebody is on that medication, they take it off. None of that. We're telling stories. But my mom was on that, came out of it, woke up while she was in the intensive care unit. One of the doctors said, "Oh, there's no cognitive function there." But my mom was kind of loaded up on this medication. You know, while she was because she was still, she opened her eyes. Could she see or not? I don't know. Oh, there's no. But when she started to come out of it, my mother-in-law goes, "Hey, Carmen, hey, smile." You know, and she smiled. She started to come out of it. I don't know. And she was doing so well, but she had atrophy. So atrophy is when you've been, you know, if you lay down in a bed long enough and you don't take your body out for a walk, it don't want to stay home forever. I don't know. Right. So she had atrophy, which is when the muscles are not reacting and they're not really atrophy. You know, you got to get strength in your body again. Lay down in a bed long enough. You know, think about it. When you wake up in the morning, you get out of bed, you go, I want to stay home forever. That's only 8 hours. She had imagine 60, 90 days, right? So she had to basically get her body to start moving, and she was getting there. She was moving along. And then that's only 8 hours. She had this aspiration happen the second time, right? And that's when she had to, right? That's when she went. But here's the thing, and I'm grateful for Medicare. And everything she had, right? She had everything you could imagine because, and I know what that bill was. That's when she went. And it was in the millions. I'm grateful for millions of dollars. And so if you're thinking, oh, I don't need this when I'm 65, and I know, well, you could be 65 and a half and get a massive heart attack, get a stroke, an embolism, any of these things can happen. You're thinking, and the hospital. And let's say you're going to be stuck in a hospital for 65 and a half. Well, there's the per day charge of the room, an embolism, the nurses, the doctors, the medications, right? Thousands upon thousands of dollars on a daily basis. That if you think that you're just going to like walk in there and walk out and guess what? The nurses, right. You know, yeah, you need to be covered. So when you talk to a professional, they know who you're talking to, you're just gonna, right? My mom did not know who her agent was, who her broker was. You know, my dad, who I can't tell you how much I am dying to get my license, get my agent, and get him on the right plan in the right place, make sure he's good to go. Because I don't know his broker. He doesn't know his broker. The clinic that he was going to just went bankrupt in Miami, and now he's been assigned to somewhere else. Well, what do you mean? Make sure he's good to go. So, because you need to know who you're talking to, and then be able to have a relationship with that agent or that broker. So, if you are an agent right now, and you are on our teams here in Powerhouse Health Partners, or you want to be a part of Powerhouse, and then be able to have a understand that we expect you, at least I expect you, and I think you'll agree with me. We expect you to have a real relationship with your agent, or sorry, with your client.
And then you won't last very long. That we expect you, at least I join us sometimes.
Man, I went on a roll.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry.
We get people that join us sometimes. They're just not the right fit. You know, the heart is not there the way that we do business, and that's okay. You know, we wish them well, and they go off. But the agents that have been attracted to Powerhouse Health Partners, the agents that are here that planted the flag, you know, we pride ourselves here having that. You know, we're a heart company. That's okay. You know, we're not a cardiac company, cardio,
Wrong kind of heart.
but we lead with the heart. You know, we're a family business, and everybody here is treated like family. You know, like I said, our main pillar is going to be, you know, treat you like mom, and we treat our patients like mom. But sometimes we treat our agents like mom. Like we're a family.
We do.
It's like kids.
Not just like mom or kids, but we treat them as, you know, partners. Right. We want to teach them the right way. We want to teach you the right way. That way, when you go out into the community and you're helping patients, that's just like we're doing it the right way. You're leading with heart. That's important, right? We want to teach them the right way. We want to teach them the right way. That way, when you go out into the community and you're helping patients,
we have virtual training.
The right way.
Go in the system with us. There is a step-by-step on
that's
how to get your AHIP certification, how to get certified with each one of the carriers. And then we have a really strong, great relationship with the carriers that we do business with. And then we get training on a regular basis. How to get your AHIP
nugget,
how to get certified with
golden nugget. Did you hear that? We get trainings with the individual carriers and clinics, right? The provider. So it's not just, hey, good luck. It's building a relationship, not just with your patient and your client, but with the insurance provider and the clinic provider, because then you are truly taking care of your client. Building a relationship, not just with your patient and your client, but with insurance.
That is going to be our time for today. We wanted to just come on. We're still going through the growing pains of figuring a lot of things out, which we will. I mean, I can guarantee you that it's going to be better and better every time. I hope this was informative for you guys. A lot of fun for us.
It was. I had a good time. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. We are the Powerhouse Boys. You're going to see us here on YouTube and your favorite podcast channels. We'll see you around. Thanks again for coming. We'll talk to you once again.